What's up, guys?
Hey. Hello.
You're gonna be on the episode of The Wire, episode 11.
Yay! Episode 11!
See, this is Kennett, baby. This is Kennett. This is how we roll. In this episode, we go to Kennett Square, PA.
Out and about, Kennett Square, known for its charming Main Street, beautiful shops, rich in history, and of course mushrooms.
Yes, it is the mushroom capital of the world, and it is also home to State and Union, where Doug Harris, founder, owner, operator, is going to be there. We're going to stop in and take a look at State and Union, see what he's got going on over there.
Downtown, so we can stay
Here we are. Let's roll around. Let's do a little spin around. Give you a shot of State and Union. There's the store. It's a good looking store there. Got that Honda in the window. Let's roll on in.
Hey, Jill, come on in. This is my dog, Blue.
Dougie, Doug.
Blue, Jill Taylor. What's up, DT?
Doug, what's up, brother?
How you doing?
We are live. That's how we roll.
Nice. Everybody, the Taylor Experience is in the house.
What's
Doug
up, everybody?
and Jill Taylor.
What is up? Who's ready to be on the wire today?
I am.
Let's get it. We're gonna drop the selfie stick. Gonna go full camera.
Come on. Here, Isaac, you want to be on TV?
Yeah. That's not connected to television.
It will be.
It will be.
What's your favorite store in Kennett Square?
Builder. Hey.
Sarah, we lined up?
Yeah, you're good. Doug.
And we're back, episode 11. Jill, double hockey sticks, we're banging them out.
You and your labels for everything.
Yo,
Oh
that's
my
how we
gosh.
roll.
Woo!
All right, joining us today is Doug Harris, founder of State and Union. Doug, welcome to the show.
Doug, pleasure. Jill,
Great to have
thanks
you
for
here.
having me.
Thanks for joining
Great
us
to
on the
have you.
show today.
Oh, man, on a nice winter's day in Kennett Square.
Yes, beautiful
It
out
is beautiful,
here today.
actually.
Well, Doc, why don't we start with telling the viewers how long have you been an independent retailer and what motivated you to choose this location?
Sure. I guess the quick response is just over 10 years ago I decided to open a store in Kennett Square. And before I get to the reason why Kennett, I just want to back up a little bit to say 15 years ago, right around 2000, historic Kennett Square got a grant and wanted to kick off a renaissance, the Kennett Square Revitalization Task Force,
That's
styled
cool.
this whole thing in, and I was the lucky candidate that got the gig.
Wow.
And we started the farmers market
That's
that's
very
still
cool.
going, the brew fest that's still going, XYZ, attracting tourism, and then
Safe to say your fingerprints are all over the cool factor in this town.
humbly I'd say yes.
Yes, that's
So meanwhile, back in the States, after I did that and kicked off the Renaissance, the grant money, ran out and they hired Mary Hutchins, who's still been here 14 years later. Then I went to work for the Chester County Visitors Bureau, where I put heads in beds through tourism. And then I kept having this feeling when I come into Kennett Square and I'd be like, man, I miss that town. There's something very magical that I never experienced this community growing up in the suburbs of Baltimore that I longed for. And then at the time my wife said, well, you love it so much, why don't you open your own store? You keep saying you're working for people that you don't respect and you always want to do it your own way. And
That
then
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
do you know
well.
anything about that?
I know that feeling
Can
well.
you tell me more? Look, it's Jack Benny. I mean, really. So anyways, that's why I picked Kennett. And then it's never easy because the store I opened 10 years ago was called The Paper Market. Need any paper, darling?
I don't.
And you? Cheese and crackers. So I did some custom invitations. You get married once or twice. That's about it. And then I was unfulfilled.
That's
But I found Tom's Shoes. And that was the beginning of a whole buy one product from me and I will improve the world. And that now ties into my current theme of shop for good. Because right now State and Union, which incidentally I changed my brand and the whole store identity. 2 years ago, I hit the reset button and took what was then called Eco Boutique, which was the paper market with just a different name on the awning. And my friends who own United by Blue are just...
I was just going to ask you,
Yeah.
how does that tie in?
Great lead-in. So United by Blue is a 5-year-old business out of Philadelphia. And Mike Kanji is from Kennett Square, went to Kennett High School. And then when I was Eco Boutique, he came in to say, hey, want to buy my t-shirts? For every one t-shirt sold, we'll remove 1 pound of trash off the world's beaches and waterways. I thought,
it.
genius!
That's the shopping for good, or the shopping... what is
Well, they
that
call it the
About-
Blue Movement.
Yeah, the Blue Movement.
Meanwhile, I was the first guy in America to buy United by Blue. And then if you want to fast forward the clock, I've scaled up with them for 5 years. They got out of just being a wholesale manufacturer, got into their own retail operations in Philadelphia, Old City, University City. And when I
So
saw
stop by and
that,
check those guys out. Where are they at in Old City?
Old City, North 2nd Street,
Okay.
University City right on Walnut. It's United
Stop
by Blue.
Tell them
Cafe
Doug and
and
Jill sent
Clothier.
you. Tell them Doug and Jill sent you.
Right, DDJ. And a star is born, because when I saw their retail stores in Philly, I said, my word, remember me, the early adopter? Let's bring it to K-Town at my sweet Boardwalk Park Place location.
Yeah, it is.
And they said, yes, darling, but never at the Eco Boutique.
Okay.
And I said, all right, then what will you do it as? And they said, think of a ballsy name. Well, it's Hun, State, and Union, that's a pair of balls. Happens to be at the intersection of the street where I am located. But Made in America or a give back is the store concept of State and Union. And the tagline, Shop for Good, means I am the curated collection of the finest brands. Shinola from Detroit.
Yeah. They're advertising a lot.
Red Wing from Minnesota.
Bringing them back.
Yeah, Stormy Cromer from Michigan. So it's either American made or it has to have a give back
Okay.
to be in what I call a shop for good, where you can pay it forward with every purchase.
Like this bag. Every time I come in here, I look at these bags.
I think you should have that
That's
bag.
on my
I
list.
just every time I come in, you know what? I can get rid of my camera bag and rock this
Totally.
from State and Union.
Oh yeah, and that's United by Blue.
I just see it's a little tight.
That's
right
called
now.
the Mountain Drew
The Mountain
duffel
Drew.
bag.
Can never have too many bags.
I can see that under the tree next year, Jill. All right. Well, look.
Doug-
Sorry,
so tell us.
scene
That's
take
okay.
two.
We got- no,
I
that's
knew it was
okay.
wrong. That's the Derby tier. That's the Derby tier.
I'm
Okay,
there with you. That's okay.
So, Doug, have all of your businesses been altruistic? I love the shop for good, shop
Yeah.
based on your value
Yes.
concept.
They have. In fact, just for the public record, 10 years ago, that was like ridicule worthy. You know, everyone's like, oh, fair trade, pay it forward, sustainable, green is the new black.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And when I was Eco Boutique and Paper Market, I was like, dude, you might not want to drink the 102-degree Deer Park plastic bottle of water
Right.
that's been in your car, because that's called BPA,
Yeah.
and that shit could kill you. And then,
You're
so
ahead
then
of your time.
these right. So again, humbly, my store concepts would be very popular in California. It takes about 6 years for that to come to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And so I would like to say, I feel that Kennett Square, the consciousness of the community has caught up with my store concept. And when I hit the reset button for State and Union, it's because I'm pushing it out again for people to kind of catch up, because given the choice, I think people want to pay a little more for the good stuff, like the
Right.
Red Wing boot. Yes, it's $300, but your son will get them when you die.
Yeah.
It's just a heritage brand.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've got a pair. I love them.
And your son will
Yeah.
get the boot. No rush.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good years ahead of you.
Exactly. I'm hoping so. So, Doug, tell
Yes.
us a little more about Kennett Square. I mean, this place is a lot like New Hope. I hear it gets compared to New Hope a lot, but really, I think it's a lot different than New Hope
Yeah.
for many reasons.
You can walk down the curbs and not feel like you're going to fall into the
that's
street.
true. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
number
yeah.
one.
Right,
New
that is
Hope.
number one.
You're taking your life in your
Tell
hands.
us, why do you think that people are so attracted to the area? Why do you think they're making this their new hometown?
Great question. My response sounds like this. First, I'll say a couple years ago, we came up with a clever little jingle that Kennett Square is Westchester's Brooklyn.
Ah, I kind of like that.
So, if
I like
Westchester's Manhattan, the reason, and now that Brooklyn's expensive, I got to update my metaphor. Kennett Square is now Queens, or wherever the cool people are going next because they can't afford Brooklyn. Meanwhile, you can't really put your finger on it, but I would express it in a way that says there is an intangible sort of, and it sounds a little, new agey, but you can handle it, folks out there in the watching audience. There is this like je ne sais quoi, Viva Kennett Square. There's an invisible
Yeah.
spiritual magic
There is an
that you
energy.
feel it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
it's a
is.
vibe.
It really
I mean,
is.
the best way to say it is like a vibe.
Yeah.
And if you're from some place where no one says hello and you're isolated and disconnected, potentially angry,
Yeah.
and you come into this community, you're like, wow.
Jill, on the way
What
in.
kind of mushrooms were those?
Right, right. Guys,
Walking down the
on
street,
the way in,
people
yeah.
talking,
You'll be
cheering.
on the episode of The
Yes.
Wire.
Yes.
Episode 11.
It's authenticity, it's reality. So here's the thing. My mom just moved here at 80 years old from Ocean City, Maryland. I've met people, in the last 2 years, I can tell you for real, people have come into the store. We're thinking about moving here from Hawaii. Well,
Yeah.
aloha.
And as realtors, Jill and I get that a lot. I mean, we know a lot of people are moving into the area
And
constantly.
get this, another great sort of testimonial for the community. Apparently, Lord Tehran used to live out here by the Whip Tavern on Tehran Road. And even though
The Whip Tavern, little shout out to the Whip Tavern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even
Waterford Farm, by the way.
Okay, well, West Marlboro Township is about as good as it gets, folks.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I think that this international, almost rurally appointed, British person said, I've traveled the whole world, and my favorite place is the rolling hills of Chester County in the
Yeah.
Kennett Square area.
I would
and
agree.
I
Not
have,
us back
I
here.
would agree.
From
I
out
would agree.
west.
you've lived out west.
I've lived out west, California,
Yeah.
San Fran, LA, Vegas.
All over.
all
We
over
chose to
New
come
York,
back here
Florida.
for Chester
This is
County.
definitely home.
And again,
This
even
is definitely
talking
home.
about it for real, it gives me goosebumps because nothing makes me happier than when people feel the vibe.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, when you hear these metaphors about spiritual ideas, like, sweep in front of your own door and then go out into the world as a pure person, as opposed to, why is this world so dirty, if you will? So,
Yeah.
I've never seen a higher density of self-actualized people. How can you say it? I
Yeah.
mean, it's authentic. We got good food. We eat real food
Yeah.
around here. We got a lot of the
Plenty
hippie
mushrooms.
farmers with the organic food.
Yeah.
We've got
It's a lot of farm to table around
Yes.
here as well. Yeah.
We'll
And-
be hitting up a lot more of the restaurants
Yeah.
in Kennett, giving
Yeah.
you a taste
We're going
of
to
that
stop
as
over
well.
see our friend Ahmed over at Biersa Bistro and chat with him a bit. Maybe
Yeah.
over to Tallulah's table.
Yeah.
What is it? Tallulah's
Tallulah's
table?
table.
Amy Alexi. And here's the thing. There's a perfect example. Amy Alexi, rock star chef, Philadelphia, feeding
Yeah.
movie stars and actors, says, you know what, I'm having a baby. I'm out of the city. I'm
Yeah.
going back to Kennett Square. And Tallulah's table, there it is.
Yeah.
And then
Fantastic.
what I also love, to help put it in a reference of the geography, if Philadelphia is center city, and I know from the tourism days, Philadelphia, the city, says we're Philadelphia and the countryside, from Valley Forge all the way down to here. And so when people come to visit from Philadelphia, I go, yes, this is about as far west as you get from Philly with the cool factor, because the next stop's the Amish, right there in Lancaster County. So, yes, it's, not that there's anything wrong and they're not
No,
cool, but,
no.
I'm just saying, we are open on Sunday. I'm open on Sunday. Yeah, little things like that.
We actually
I got
met.
a
Remember
RC
Amish
cola
Joe?
and a moon pie.
Remember RC Joe? Remember Amish Joe came to our house? Remember how
yeah.
dialed in
Yes,
he was?
he was.
He was so dialed in. He had the most ridiculously maddening style ever. He made me look weak.
Wow.
Yeah, he made me look weak. He was so dialed
But
in.
you're impeccable, darling.
No. He was dialed. This
All
man
right.
was dialed. And you know what? He did it with all the stuff, his own stuff. He made all his own gear. That's
Wow.
what made him even cooler.
He was a dialed
That
in
made him
Amish
even
man.
cooler. I'm telling
Did
you.
he ask
was
to
so
charge a
dialed.
cell phone? Because they don't have electricity, but they
No.
want to borrow yours to charge a phone.
Oh, I didn't.
Just saying.
Inquiring minds that want to know, now they know. Well, Doug, you know what? Thanks for coming on the show. It's been a lot of fun. Great to hear a lot about the area.
Thanks, Doug.
It's really
Love
fun.
it.
Yeah.
And
Sheila, thank you for everything.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Doug.
Great
It
Doug
is
on the show.
great coming into your shop. As usual, I see a few things, a couple
Yeah.
extras. Doug, maybe a little gift for me post Valentine's Day.
No, the Rams Diner wasn't enough. Come on. I treat my girl right.
We
We went to the
did.
Rams Diner in Westchester.
Yes.
Did an episode there.
He let me have an extra
was all
side
right.
of bacon.
Yeah.
You know, he was
Yeah, I
splurging.
spent
Double
He was
take.
on
I
that
spent
day.
up.
And then they say, all right, little pig, that'll be all.
No, I spent up. No, we did the right thing.
We did. Well, viewers, we know you have a lot of time that you spend on the web. Thanks for coming and sharing some of your time with us here.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on the streets of Kennett Square, I
And you
hope.
sure will. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Doug and Jill Show. It's a lot of fun. It's your backstage pass. As a matter of fact, episode 4 is being taped right now, so that'll be out
You can
tonight.
hear all of
You'll hear
this.
the whole show before even the Wire people get to see this, which will come out tomorrow.
Let me tell
So,
you, that recorder is running 24/7.
It absolutely
we
is.
don't
It's
escape
your
it in our
backstage
house.
pass.
And I'd like to apologize to anyone who have offended on the private recordings.
I don't think that'll be necessary.
I know.
So we've had a lot of fun here. Well, that's it. Until next time, I'm Doug.
And I'm Jill. Thanks for listening, watching.
We're
Oh,
watching
and
and
Doug.
listening. And I'm Doug, too.
There's another Doug.
Oh my gosh, the other half of my
DDJ!
Doug sandwich.
Yo!
Oh!
Booyah! Episode 11 is in the bag. Nice. We looked like dorks in that last part.
Well, because we didn't...
Oh, good. All right, cool.
Well, that's
That's it.
because real estate is what?
Oh!
I was going to give a
it back
shout
in
out to you. No, right, because I was going to give a thing to you to be like, can I give a plug to you? Know?
Why? Because real estate is about much more than homes, buildings, and land.
It's about the people in the communities where they live, work, and play.
Yo, there it is! Oh,
Having fun.
thanks for bringing me back.
Arm out, Jill. Close it out with a point.
Done.